Yeah. First one, what is calls in advance and what is calls in arrears? If the shareholders pay the money even before the call is made, then we say that to be what? Calls in advance. Even after the call is made, if the shareholder does not pay money, then we call it as calls in arrears. Now, what happens in case of a calls in arrears and calls in advance? Now, there is a component of interest which the company has to pay or receive in case of paying the money before the due date or not paying the money within the due date. Okay. Now, the company law, what it says is that in case a shareholder defaults to pay what? Calls in calls on time, then is liable to pay interest on the calls in arrears. Now, is it mandatory to pay calls in interest on calls in arrears? The answer is no. It is all dependent on the articles of association whether they mention that we need to pay interest or not. In case of calls in arrears, in case of what? Calls in arrears, the company will receive interest from the date of call due till the date of payment at the rate of 10% per annum. Are you clear? Now, in case of calls in advance, in case of what? Calls in advance, the company should be paying the shareholder, the company what? Should be paying the shareholder at 12% per annum. That is, now in this case, from the date of payment, because he is paying advance, from the date of payment till the due date. Did you understand this? So in the first case, calls in arrears, it is from the due date to the date of payment. That's why it's an arrears. In case of calls in advance, it is from the date of payment till the due date. Are you clear? Yes, both are optional. Only if it is mentioned in the memorandum of association, you will have to charge it. And the rate can be different if nothing is mentioned. If they say that interest has to be charged, then we follow something called as table A. Under table A, we'll be looking into it. Guys, I'll be doing just one question on it because there is one component which is very important where I need to spend a little bit more time on. Now see here, Rashmi Limited issued at par 1 lakh equity shares of 10 each, payable 2.5 on application, 3 on allotment, 2 on first call, and the balance on the final call. Shares were fully subscribed. That means what? They applied for 1 lakh shares. You got applications for 1000. Mr. Nair, who held 10,000 shares, paid full remaining amount on the first call itself. What is it? Calls in arrears or calls in advance? Calls in advance. Perfect. The final call was made after 3 months from the first call was duly paid. What does it mean? From the date of the first call, the next call was made 3 months later. That means the amount of calls in advance is for how many months? 3 months. You have to pay interest. The interest rate is what? 12%. Are you clear? Then first call having except 1000 shares who paid his due amount after 2 months along with interest on calls in arrears. Are you clear? So everyone paid the money. See here, the final call which was made after 3 months from first call was fully paid except a shareholder having 1000 shares who paid his first due money amount after 2 months along with interest on calls in arrears. Company also paid interest on calls in advance. Give journal entries for those transactions. Are you clear? Last sentence, what they are saying is, see, now out of 1 lakh people, Mr. Nair, who had 10,000, had already paid. So you should have received money from what? 90,000 people. But out of 90,000, what happened? Out of this 90,000 people, what happened? 89,000 people paid the money immediately. The 1,000 guy paid money after 2 months along with interest. That's what it is. Are you clear? Right? Let us do the question. Now, first journal entry. How much money did you receive on application? How much money did you receive on application? You have received 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each, 2.5 payable on application. So the journal entry is bank account debit to bank account debit to share application 2,50,000, 2,50,000. Next journal entry, share application to share capital 2.5 lakh, 2.5 lakh. Any doubt here? Now next one, how much money should you receive on the allotment? 3 rupees. Everyone is paying 3 rupees. So the journal entry becomes allotment. I have to make the due amount first. Share allotment to share capital 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs. Bank this also is pretty straightforward. Till here, actually, if you ask me honestly, it's the same thing. Now is where the challenge starts. Now let me come to the first call. Are we going to record the receipt entry first, or are we going to be recording the payment due entry first? First call, right? So the journal entry for due will be what? Now let me understand how much money did I get in the first call. See, in the first call, entire 1 lakh guys paid 2 rupees. Along with it, one more guy with 10,000, he paid the balance money. Now if you see what is the balance money, face value is 10, 2.50 on application, 2 rupees on the first call. Sorry, 3 rupees on the first call. ₹2 on the final call. So you still have to get how much? 2.50. So this 10,000 guy, that is Mr. Nair, paid 2.50. Yeah, allotment 2 ma. Kumar. This is allotment, this first call, this is application. So you still have to get 2.5. So this guy, Mr. Nair, paid 10,000 rupees along with the first call money. So the total first call money you received is 2 lakh plus 25,000. Are you clear? Guys, Mr. Nair, who's held 10,000 shares, paid full remaining money on the first call itself. See, if I have already collected till first call 7.5, the balance money is what? 2.5. He is paying along with the first call. That means Mr. Nair paid actually 4.5. So how do I do it? For 1 lakh shares, I have received money from everyone. 1 lakh into 2 plus 10,000 into 2.5 extra money what you have received from Nair. If you do it from Nair, you have got. So now, if I have to pass the journal entry, bank account debit 2,25,000 to first call 2 lakh, to first call 2 lakh, then to extra money what I have received is calls in arrears, sorry, calls in advance 25,000. Are you clear? Now 3 months later I am doing my final call. How much I should have received in final call? 2.5. That will be final call account debit 2,50,000 to share capital 2,50,000. Are you clear? Now once this is done, now what are they saying? Guys, this is little important, understand. I have to get money from 1 lakh people. Again I am repeating, I have already received money from 10,000 from Nair. So I still have only money to be received from 90,000 people. From 90,000 people, one guy holding 1,000 shares paid me after 2 months. So I am receiving money only from 89,000 people. 89,000 into 2.5, how much is it? Sure? So guys, see here, to final call 2,50,000 is the due amount here. Bank account debit 2,22,500 bank account debit. Then calls in advance account debit 25,000. The balance 2,500 is my That is, this is 89,000 into 2.5. This is from Nair 10,000 into 2.5. This is from the last guy 1,000 into 2.5. Are you clear? Now, guys, here the calls in advance, I told you you have to pay interest from the date of payment till date of due. Now, for Mr. Nair, he paid interest on the first call and the final call was due after 3 months. So you have to pay interest for 3 months on that advance money of 25,000. Calls in advance are paid at the rate of what? 12%. ₹750. Now, calls in advance, when you are paying, it's an expense for you. So the journal entry becomes debit my expense, interest on calls in advance, interest on calls in advance account debit, to shareholders account 750. If you want to save an entry, you can write it directly as to bank account, or if you want, you can do another entry called shareholders. Are you clear? $25,000 is the amount paid earlier. Done? Any doubt till here? Now let me come to calls in arrears. What are they saying with regards to the calls in arrears? What are they saying with regards to the calls in arrears? This guy, 1000 shares guy, paid the money after 2 months. So when this guy pays the money, the journal entry becomes bank account debit to calls in arrears. What is the amount? Is the question. They are saying he's going to be paying along with the interest. Now for this 2,500 for 2 months, I have to get an interest of 10%. That comes to 41.67. So first, when the interest before he pays, create a due entry. Calls in arrears is basically gonna be my income because the shareholder is paying it to you. So we know the journal entry is what? Shareholders account debit to interest on calls in arrears. Why interest on calls in arrears? Because it's an income for me. So income has to be credited. 41.67. Are you clear? See, you have to create the interest entry for sure, but do you want to bring it to the shareholders or not is something you can do, or you can directly write it as to interest on calls in arrears. So here it will become 2,541.67. Calls in arrears is 2,500, 41.6. Are you guys clear? Either you can do shareholders to interest on calls in arrears, and here you can write it as bank account debit, calls in arrears to shareholders. If you don't want to do 2 entries and you want to do is just 1 entry, then you can skip this and directly write to interest on calls in arrears 41.67. Are you clear? Guys, done? Can we move to the next topic? Okay, this is the last topic, which is the major one. Now, what is share forfeiture? Share forfeiture means cancellation of shares for non-payment. Are you clear? Okay, clear? Now, I want you guys to first understand what happens with share forfeiture, and then we'll get into it. Let's say there are 10,000 shares. The money to be paid, guys, I want you to understand this logic first. Okay. There are 10,000 shares payable as 2332. Total is what? 10. Is there any premium? No. Now let's say Mr. X paid application money, paid allotment money. First call he did not pay. The shares were cancelled. Guys, I want you to just understand the scenarios. Okay. He didn't pay first call, he didn't pay second call. The shares were cancelled. Are you clear? Now, when you're doing it, always keep a working note like this: face value, premium, called, received. Okay, face value. Now, the face, there is no premium here. Application 2332. Have they called? Yes, 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 and yes. Have they received this? Yes, yes, no, and no. Are you clear? Guys, I'm just doing the entry. Please don't ask me doubts, because these are the things I've covered. I'm only going to be doing the forfeiture entries here. So when the journal entries would have been there, the first entry would have been bank to share application 2 and 2, then share application to share capital 2 and 2, then share allotment to share capital 3 and 3, then bank to share allotment 3 and 3. Then I would have done first call to share capital 3 3. Then since I did not receive money, my journal entry would become what? Calls in arrears to first call 3 and 3. Then again second call to share capital 2 and 2. Calls in arrears to second call 2 and 2. Yes or no? Yes. Now this is where share forfeiture comes. What did I say? Share forfeiture is basically my cancellation entry. Now when shares are cancelled, what will happen? You need to first understand it. Share capital is a credit balance. So whatever is credited in the share capital has to be debited for cancelling. So my journal entry becomes share capital account debit 10 rupees. 2. Calls in arrears. 2. Share forfeiture. Share forfeiture account will come to the extent of the money received in the bank towards the face value. In this case, how much money did I receive? Towards the face value 2 and 3. So, to share forfeiture account 3 rupees, 3 plus 2 5 rupees, to calls in arrears 5 rupees. Are you clear? Guys, see here. The amount is 10 rupees. Sricharan, just wait for a minute. The amount is 10 rupees. Out of 10, how much money did you receive? How much money did you not receive? The money received was application to allotment 3. So you received 5 rupees. What you did not receive is basically the first call and the second call, 3 and 2. So when you're doing the share forfeiture entry, the journal entry becomes share capital account debit to the extent of face value 10. To share forfeiture, how much money did you receive? 5. To calls in arrears, the money not received 5. Are you clear? Now guys, let's see the other question. The share value is 10. Amount called 3, 2, 3. 2 rupees they did not call. Money received 3 and 2. They did not receive this. Guys, pass the journal entry. I'll give you guys 1 minute. Pass the journal entry and post it in the section. Jami, your answer is right. All others are wrong. Guys, see here. When you're cancelling the shares, you will only cancel to the extent amount called. When you are cancelling shares, you will cancel only to the extent what? Amount called. Amount called is what? 332. So the journal entry becomes, as Jami said, share capital account debit 8 to share forfeiture to calls in arrears. To share forfeiture, how much should it come? To the extent of money received, which is 5. To calls in arrears 3. Are you clear? If there is no due entry, share capital would have not got credited. That's why we are not including it, Amrit. Now let me come to the next concept. $10,000 shares. This is how you have to pay. Guys, what is going to be a journal entry? Understood? There is 10,000 shares. Money paid is 2. To be paid is 2532. They have called 2, 5, 3 and 2. Received is 2 and 5. How are you guys going to pass the journal entry? I'll give you guys 2 minutes. Do it fast. Okay. Now everyone see here. I told you guys to make this table face value and premium. Okay. Guys, everyone see here. Face value and premium. Now in this, if nothing is mentioned, we always assume that the premium has been collected at allotment. Okay. So 2, 3 plus 2, 3 and 2. This is the split. Yes or no? Now called and received. Guys, everyone's here. Called and received. You have called 1, 2, 3 and 4. What all have you received? Yes. Now I want you guys to look into this. Have you received the premium money? Okay. Whenever you have received the premium money, right? Whenever you have received the premium money, please keep in mind that premium amount shall not be reversed. Premium amount if it is called and received. So for all my calculation purpose, the premium will be ignored. For all my calculation purpose, what? Premium will be ignored. Are you guys clear? Are you guys clear? So the number of shares right now is 10,000 shares. The face value I've called is 10 and I've received out of which 5 rupees. So the journal entry becomes, guys, share capital account debit 10 into 10,000 1 lakh. 2. Share forfeiture 2 calls in arrears. To calls in arrears, the money I did not receive 50,000. To share forfeiture. Did you all understand this? Let's go to the next one. Let's see this same question. 10,000 2532 called received only this. Guys, pass the journal entry. Okay, everyone, when share premium is called but not received, you have to reverse it. That is, you have to include even the premium amount. Now in this case, what is happening? Let's do the breakup first. Face value premium 23232, correct? My next part is called, received, called, received, called, not received, not received, not received. So since premium is not received, I have to reverse it. So see here, share capital account debit 10,000 into 10 1 lakh. Security premium account 20,000. This is what I meant. You have to reverse it since you have not received it. Are you clear? 2 share forfeiture 2 calls in arrears. What is the money received? Only 2 rupees. Share forfeiture 20. So guys, please remember, it's the money received towards the face value. Calls in arrears is the money not received. Did you guys understand this? Yes? Okay. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. I want you to pass these two entries, 11 and 12. sorry, 10 and 11. I'll give you guys 2 minutes, pass the entries soon. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, please pass the entries soon. Guys, see here, for the 10th one, A forfeited 30,000 equity shares, 10 fully paid up, held by for final call at 4 each. He paid 2, 4. So what's going to be the journal entry? Share capital account debit 3 lakh. To share forfeiture money received, that is 6 into 30, 1 lakh 80k. 2 calls in arrears, 1.2 lakhs. Now in the second case, see here, 20,000 shares, 10 each, 8 called up for non-payment of the first call each at 2 per share. Now in this case, the journal entry becomes share capital account debit 1,60,000 to calls in arrears 40,000 to share forfeiture account 1,20,000. Is it easy? Now the next topic is reissuing of the shares forfeited. Now, what happens here? Let's say for my calculation purpose, I'll just take first one share. 2332. Guys, just for the number, let's take 2332. Called money not received. Now, once the shares are cancelled, we can issue this cancelled shares back again. When I'm issuing this cancelled shares back again, what is the minimum price at which I need to issue? What is the minimum price at which I need to issue? Okay, the minimum price at which you need to issue, guys, is gonna be the price at which I am not paid. Thank you, Nikita. At the price which is not paid. So you cannot issue at a price minimum less than 5 rupees. Are you clear? Thank you, Nikita. It is the price at which it is not paid. Are you clear? So you can issue at any price more 5 or more than 5. Are you clear? Yeah, it can be any price, but it has to be more than 5 or more than 5. Guys, are you clear? So you can issue at any price, but it has to be more than 5. You can issue 100 also, 200 also, it doesn't even matter. Are you clear? Done? Now the next part of it, see here, let's say the shares are, to make it more easier, 10,000. Guys, I want in the exam also for you guys to do like this so it becomes easier. 10,000, let's say 4, 3, 2, 1. Called, received, called, received. Okay. Now what would have been the share forfeiture entry, guys? Everyone do the share. You don't pay the money back, Rajesh, when you cancel the share. It is your profit. Now what is going to be this journal entry? Guys, let's write the complete value. Share capital account debit 1 lakh to share forfeiture account 70,000 to calls in arrears 30,000. Now, let's say this cancelled shares were issued at 6 rupees. Can I issue it at 6? Okay. Now, see here, when I issue the shares at 6, what is the face value of the shares? 10. What is the face value of the shares? 10. So the journal entry becomes bank account debit 60,000 to share capital account 1 lakh. This shortage will be covered by share forfeiture account 40,000. Are you clear? Are you guys clear? This shortage is going to be covered by share forfeiture account. Now see here, the share forfeiture account had 70,000. That is the money originally paid by the shareholders. In that you have utilized how much? 40,000. That means you are left with how much? Sri Charan, the bank you have received 6 rupees per share, so you have received 60,000. The money to be credited to the share capital is going to be always the face value 1 lakh. The shortage, whatever is there, is going to go from my share forfeiture account 40,000. Now, if I see my share forfeiture account, guys, everyone, I want you to listen carefully. If I see my share forfeiture account, the number of Ashish, wait, the number of shares cancelled was 10,000. Everyone, please listen to it. The number of shares cancelled is 10,000. The number of shares issued is also 10,000. That means all the shares were reissued. This is important for my next concept, which I do tomorrow. So, whatever is in the share forfeiture was the money received earlier, which is gone to the bank of 70. In that, I have utilized for the loss of reissue 40. Therefore, I am still left with this 30,000, which is gonna be my profit. So the journal entry becomes share forfeiture account debited to capital reserve 30,000. Are you clear? Kumar, I have 10,000 shares. I reissued 10,000 shares. Sri Charan, my share forfeiture account had 70,000 rupees, which I had kept it. 30,000 rupees. So I utilize, see, when I am reissuing the shares, I should have issued at 10. But instead of that, I am issuing it at 6 rupees. That means I am having a 40,000 loss. This 40,000 loss is recovered by the share forfeiture. The balance 30,000 rupees, whatever is left, becomes my profit. Are you guys clear? Is everyone clear with it? Now, One more concept. I'll take the same numbers 4321, 10,000 shares called, received. Now only 5,000 shares were reissued. How many did you issue? Only 5,000. Guys, first do the share forfeiture entry. Correct? The share forfeiture entry will be share capital account debit 1 lakh to share forfeiture account 70,000 to calls in arrears 30,000. Now, how many shares are they reissuing? Only 5,000. So when they are reissuing 5,000 shares, what will be the journal entry? Bank account debit 5,000 into 6, 30,000. Guys, bank account debit 5,000 into 6, 30,000. To share capital, what is the face value? 10. So it will be 50,000. So how much from share forfeiture account you're going to use? 20,000. Are you clear? Guys, are you clear? Now, how much will you transfer to capital reserve? How much will you transfer to capital reserve? You know the journal entry for capital reserve, right? Share forfeiture to capital reserve account. Okay. Hey Sricharan, if I'm issuing 5,000 shares, 5,000 into 10 is 50,000. Okay. How much is there in the share? So you're all saying that I should transfer 50,000 into the capital reserve. The answer is wrong. Now guys, you need to understand this. This money which is there in the share forfeiture account, 70,000. The share forfeiture account, 70,000 belongs to how many shares? 10,000 shares. I am only reissuing 5,000. So what is going to be the proportionate amount? Guys, what is going to be the proportionate amount? 35,000. Now this 35,000 is what I'll compare with this. So out of 35, I have utilized 20,000 for my loss. So the balance, whatever is left, 25,000. Balance, whatever is there, 25,000 becomes my, sorry, 15,000 becomes my profit. Are you clear? Issue, sir. I have issued whatever price you want, you issue, sir. Who's stopping you? I issued at higher price only, no, Shri Kumar. It's gonna be there on the balance sheet, Jami. Once I reissue the remaining 5,000, then yes, Jami. Sir, if you are issuing about 10, right? Okay, Kumar, I'll answer your questions here. Let's say I'm issuing it at 15 rupees. Okay, what will be the journal entry? Bank account debit 15,000, 15 into 10,000, 1,50,000 to share capital 1 lakh to security premium 50,000, correct? Since you're not using any share forfeiture account, everything will go to the capital reserve. Are you clear, Kumar? Guys, are you clear? So today's homework, guys, is going to be your illustration number 14, 15, 16, and tomorrow we'll be starting the 17th question. And tomorrow we'll be completing the company accounts, non-profit organization, and the inventory and the final account, some small portion which is there. All are 2 hours topic. So we'll be doing it a 6-hour session tomorrow, guys, so that we wind up on Tuesday as promised earlier, right? So see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you go through and finish off all your questions. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. If you like the video, like it. Thank you so much.